This young shepherd boy was cursed with a terrible habit of lying. Soon his foolish games would summon a dark danger. Would anyone come to save him when real fangs finally flashed in the twilight? Follow his tragic journey to discover the heavy price of untruth. High above a quiet, rustic village rested an emerald green pasture. It was untouched by time. A magnificent flock of white sheep grazed slowly under the endless azure sky. Our shepherd boy sat alone beneath the sweeping branches of a gigantic ancient oak. Boredom weighed heavily upon him. Watching the fluffy white clouds drift silently across the horizon offered absolutely no thrilling excitement. The gentle bleating of the flock simply put him to sleep. He tried carving small wooden animals. Quickly, he tossed the boring toys aside into the tall grass. Loneliness wrapped tightly around his small shoulders like a heavy winter blanket. Looking down at the busy valley below made his isolation feel completely unbearable. Farmers swung sharp iron scythes gracefully through golden summer wheat. Blacksmiths hammered glowing red iron. Lively merchants called out their wares in the bustling market square.
To the harvest.
Everyone down there possessed cheerful company.
To the harvest.
Up here, there existed nothing but the whispering wind. He desperately wished to trade this quiet peak for village chatter. A deeply mischievous thought suddenly bloomed inside his restless mind. He stood up eagerly. Dust fell from his patched canvas trousers. Cupping his hands tightly around his mouth created a perfect makeshift natural megaphone. He screamed wolf with all his might into the quiet valley far below.
Help me, please.
He loudly cried out that a savage beast was viciously attacking his defenseless sheep. Echoes carried his frantic, youthful voice rapidly down the rocky mountainside. Down in the busy village, the hard-working laborers stopped instantly. Cold fear gripped their brave hearts. A child was in grave danger. Strong men dropped their heavy farming tools directly into the dusty road. Brave women grabbed thick wooden walking sticks from their shaded front porches. They raced furiously up the winding rocky path. Thick clouds of brown dust kicked up behind them.
Too far.
Lungs burned painfully in the thin mountain air.
We can't reach it.
Sweat poured down their faces. They finally burst into the high green pasture, fully prepared for a fierce, bloody battle. However, no terrible, hairy beast was waiting to fight them. The gentle sheep were happily chewing sweet clover without a single care. Only the young shepherd stood proudly by the old oak tree, laughing loudly. He held his shaking stomach. He pointed a teasing finger at their bright red, sweating faces. Seeing their utter panic brought him a deeply wicked sense of personal joy. The utterly exhausted villagers sighed heavily in deep collective frustration. An older village elder stepped forward. His facial expression remained incredibly stern. The wise man strictly warned the boy never to cry out falsely again. He gently explained that a foolish lie wastes the precious energy of good, caring neighbors. Our arrogant trickster simply smirked. He waved the wise elder away without a second thought. The angry, disappointed crowd slowly marched back down the winding mountain path. 3 quiet, peaceful days slowly passed without any unusual incidents. The brilliant summer sun beat fiercely upon the grassy top. Our restless boy found himself painfully bored by the overwhelming silence again. The vivid memory of that chaotic afternoon still made him smile. He desperately wanted to feel that incredible surge of foolish power just one more time. Moving carefully toward the rocky edge of the steep cliff felt wonderfully thrilling. He deeply filled his young lungs with warm, fragrant summer air. He dramatically shouted that a huge gray wolf was viciously eating the tiny lambs.
Help! A wolf! Help!
His cries sounded truly terrified. Down below, the working villagers clearly heard the terrible echoing screams once more.
Is that him?
A few wise elders hesitated. They vividly remembered the cruel, childish joke from just a few days ago. Yet a tiny child could genuinely be in grave, mortal danger right now.
Look up, now!
Deep
Seize your
compassion
weapons.
quickly
We must
overtook
defend
their
our
logical,
home.
lingering personal doubts. They frantically ran up the steep dirt trail, carrying axes and sharp pitchforks. Their weary legs ached terribly. Loose stones rolled dangerously away under their hurrying, stumbling feet. They arrived at the sunny meadow completely out of breath. Absolute silence happily greeted them instead of violently snarling fangs. The entire flock peacefully slept. Our wicked, selfish boy rolled on the soft grass, howling with unstoppable laughter. Cold-hearted, wouldn't you say? If you hope our hero survives this trial, show your support with a small like. The exhausted villagers did not find this second elaborate joke funny at all. Furious, dirt-covered faces glared intensely at the ungrateful, laughing child. They loudly scolded his foolishness with harsh words and angry, aggressive gestures.
Thank you, Elder.
Trust was a fragile, delicate glass. He had carelessly shattered it into pieces. The incredibly angry crowd turned their tired backs on the giggling young shepherd. They marched swiftly down into the shadowed valley, loudly vowing never to return. Evening eventually approached the high pasture. Cold, creeping purple shadows covered the ground. The bright golden sun slowly dipped behind the jagged western mountain peaks. A suddenly chilling wind swept violently through the tall, dry mountain grass. The nervous sheep suddenly huddled together in tight, frightened, woolly clusters. Our lonely boy felt a strange, icy prickle on the back of his neck. He turned very slowly toward the dark, imposing edge of the silent pine forest. Two glowing yellow eyes pierced the gathering, gloomy evening twilight. A massive, wild gray wolf stepped silently out from behind the thick pine trees. Sharp white teeth gleamed menacingly. Thick, hungry drool dripped steadily from its massive, open, ferocious jaws. The terrifying monster let out a low, rumbling, guttural growl. Terror froze his veins. He could not breathe. The beast lunged violently toward the completely helpless white sheep. Our horrified lad sprinted to the cliff edge. Heavy tears streamed rapidly down his pale face. He screamed wolf with all the desperate, frantic strength in his small body. He begged loudly for his strong neighbors to immediately come save his precious flock. His panicked, frantic voice cracked heavily with raw, genuine, terrifying fear. Down in the warm, cozy village homes, the tired people clearly heard his screams. Families sat comfortably around their wooden dinner tables, eating bowls of hot stew. A strong blacksmith paused. His wooden spoon rested halfway to his mouth. A weary farmer simply shook his gray head and firmly closed his wooden window shutters. The neighbors stayed firmly seated at their warm, comfortable dining tables. No one rushed out into the cool, dark evening air to help. They firmly believed the wicked, lying child was enthusiastically playing another foolish game. Deaf, uncaring ears met the most tragically urgent cries of his entire life. High on the dark, lonely hill, the terrifying predator easily chased away every last sheep. The completely ruined flock scattered in pure blind panic deep into the dark woods. Our defeated boy fell heavily to his bare, trembling knees. He wept bitterly all alone under the cold, pale silver moon. A liar will never be believed, even when speaking the honest truth.